one thing that the federal government had promised in 2015 when elected was to remove the GST off of construction of new rental apartments. This was promised in 2015, scrapped a year later, and then now brought back and announced that they are actually going to do it. And for those that don't know, when building new construction, so anything over effectively 4 units, you're self-assessing. So based on the value of that property, you're having to pay GST on that. And so, and it's for long-term rentals. And so that is an impediment for builders. It's something that's, after the fact. So when your construction build is completed, that you're then assessing and having to pay this to CRA. So it is a good thing. It's something that should have been brought in 2015 or 2016 when it was announced, which would have helped speed things up. It's not going to be a cure-all for sure, but it will be really good for a lot of builders, small and large, that it applies to. Unlike some of the other programs through CMHC that we're really targeted towards large builders, this will also help the smaller builders that are looking at building 6, 12, 15, 24 unit buildings, and maybe aren't the big conglomerates like the Mintos of the world or what have you that are able to fall under the CMHC construction program for building, where they look at those, look at only really giving them to them. So, it is, something that will help. It's for any build, anything retroactive. So if you have a build underway right now, you are not going to be able to take advantage of this. Unfortunately, the enhanced GST rental rebate will apply to projects that begin construction on or after September 14th, 2023, and on or before and complete by the end of 2030. So December 31st, 2030, that you're beginning, and then completion of construction by 2035. This is just the GST portion, so just that 5%. So they are looking for provinces to waive that. There are provinces that have already not been charging that. So BC has not been charging. Alberta does not have provincial sales tax, so they have not been charging. But provinces like Ontario, like I know Newfoundland already said that they would, get rid of the PST, et cetera. So it is going to come down to, like, this is the GST portion of the, so that 5%, but then there is also the provincial portion. So it will they are looking for the provinces as well to kind of jump on. This is not applying to renovations. So, mass renovations to buildings, because they were afraid of kind of that rent evictions. So, if you're looking at updating your rental property, you can provide notice to your tenants that you're going to be doing mass renovations, and you still have to offer that same unit back to that tenant at the same rents, but they are not applying that rebate to those. But they are looking at other ways in which they can enhance that rental rebate for kind of those conversions. So applying to conversion of non-residential spaces into the residential units. We've talked about in the past, and there's been other articles about with vacancy rates of commercial properties, and especially the government buildings in major cities, especially Ottawa. A lot of them are completely empty, of converting them to residential. So I know kind of simultaneous last week to this being announced by the Liberals that the Conservatives announced in Vancouver that they would look to move 15% of the government buildings to to private to convert to residential. Is something like that then this rebate would apply to those. So I think by and large it's a good start. It will kind of help cut costs and kind of for builders and make it more advantageous, if you will, to build, which is needed, because then that drives down the cost of the actual property itself. There was I'm trying to find it in the article here. It's about, I think it was 10% that of the 10% of the cost on the build or of the rent is attributed to to taxes, to GST, making up about that. So it really is a big impediment for builders of building, and it's something that's charged after the fact.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we'd really like that.